Welcome to the Earn More, Stress Less podcast with me, Caro Sison. This podcast is for self-employed business owners just like you, who really want to grow their business and become successful and profitable, but without all the stress and hassle. I want to share my 30 years of business experience to show you how simple it can be to earn more money and how you can get organised without needing a business degree or any other qualifications. I'll be talking about the easy steps that you can put in place right now to start earning more money today and to help you get the business that you deserve and dream of. Without further ado, let's get started. This week's podcast is sponsored by Pocket PA, helping self-employed business owners to get organised, understand their finances and do their accounts all in one place using a powerful online tool. If you're serious about making a profit and having a successful business, then using a simple digital web app like Pocket PA is the best way to grow and scale your business. Visit pocketpa.com for more details and start managing your money like a pro today. Welcome to the Earn More, Stress Less podcast. Today, we're talking about having more fun in your business with the amazing Ige Hunter. Now, she's been on a previous episode sharing her self-employed business journey as an Instagram expert. And Inge is the perfect person for me to have a chat with today about having fun in your business. Because whenever I see Inge's feed, she always looks like she's having the best time. So we're going to discuss the importance of getting more fun into your business. Hopefully, she can share some of her own tips and tricks that we can all put into action and ensure that we have less stress in our day-to-day environment. And with that in mind, let's dive headfirst into the exciting subject of merriment and fun making that we can all do to make our businesses seem more enjoyable and fun each day. Because I don't think that we do need to be super serious in all aspects of our business in order to make a lot of money. In fact, quite the opposite. So Inge, thanks for joining us. Take it away. What does having fun in your business look like to you?
What question?
You're on the spot now.
Well, I like to think that every day when I go to sleep, I've had a good day. So just in case tomorrow doesn't come, I've had fun and I'll be happy with what happened today, because you don't know when the ride and the wave is going to stop. So you have to enjoy it when it's happening rather than taking everything serious.
So that's a lot more about what I love about enjoying the journey. And it's not just about that destination, because that destination point is just reaching one spot. If you want to have £100,000 in your bank account, It happens just in 1 second. And then what? If you haven't been enjoying that whole journey to get to whatever, your goal is, what is the point, I guess? So that's a really nice way to think about it. And I just know that whenever I look at your Instagram feed, there's always, even if you're having a rant, there's some aspect of it that I'm just like in awe of, and it just looks like you're having a fun rant. It doesn't even look like a meltdown one like I would be having. So what is your inside track? Because there is so much sort of happiness and fun going on in your business, and I see it every day when I follow your stories. So what's your inside track to that?
Well, there's so many different people, so many different things that happen in life, and so many different ways that you can get angry and cross or have a bad day. But at the end of the day, you're the only one that's going to feel serious and shit. Whereas if you do things and appreciate that, again, like I said, it might disappear. You could be having a rant and tomorrow something else might have happened. As long as you're kind of enjoying what's happening, even if it is a rant, that you enjoy the rant and you enjoy the experience of the rant, then that's going to make you feel better. And I think throughout my life, I've learned that I'm the only person I have to depend on. I mean, we all have family, we all have friends, but at the end of the day, you don't know what might, I know this is about fun, but you don't know what might happen. And you can lean on your family and friends, but at the end of the day, you're responsible for how you feel and how you bring things to the table. And I want to make sure that I feel happy in myself. And so it's not reliant upon anybody else or any other's opinion of what happens or what I should be doing. So I'd rather make sure I'm happy. Does that answer the question?
That's a really great point, because I think happiness is a choice, and we wake up in the morning and we can choose to be happy, or we can choose to think, oh my God, I had a terrible night's sleep and I'm exhausted and it's just going to be a rubbish day. And all of these things then start to unfold and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
So I've read a lot of stuff around happiness, and there's a great book by Gretchen Rubin, The Happiness Project, which is really interesting, where she studies it for a whole 12 months. But I think happiness is actually a choice that we can choose. And in 1 second, we can literally switch and change our state between how we're feeling. And it can sometimes, I'm certainly not the happiness center and the HQ of everything happy at all times, but I am very aware that I have choices available to me, and I can either make the best of a bad situation and look for a silver lining in it and work out how we can be responsible for lifting our own mood and taking that responsibility and having our own driver to be able to do that. And I think when you have a self-employed business, you are in control of so many things, your whole environment in the place that you work and how you interact with your clients, your sort of culture of one. There's only one of you often when you're self-employed, but you can decide what that's going to look like for your clients and how you can project that. And certainly putting more fun into your business is an inside job, and it's something that you have to take responsibility from the inside.
Well, I'm very aware of it, and I'm very aware of how to curate it, not curate it, but create it. Every morning when I wake up, I always journal, I always meditate, I always exercise, and I always just set myself up for, I always have coffee as well, set myself up for a good day. So I will dump any negative crap that kind of feels like it's coming in straight away when I journal. So journaling out the crap in the morning is a really good thing to do. And then I always listen to uplifting music in the car. You can choose again what you put into your brain. So I'll always listen to something. And if I'm feeling really, really crap, then I tend to put on Alanis Morissette and properly sing it out. Just get rid of it.
Music is such a powerful game changer for your state, isn't it? And I think even there's nothing to stop us having a little bit of music in your place of work, on as background music, because those sorts of things, when people like click along or hum along to a nice tune or something like that, that can be really uplifting and make yourself feel, you know what, if I fancy music in my place where I work, I can choose it, because guess what? It's my place and I don't need to ask the boss or whatever. So music is a really interesting one. And going to appointments, from appointments, people have tracks and stuff that really uplift them and get them in the zone and that sort of thing. So I think having a good playlist of music can be a really important aspect. So I'm really glad you mentioned that one.
Yeah. And just also, though, there's some days where I don't feel fun and don't feel happy, but just also acknowledging that, like recently I had my Facebook account hacked and they've been taking money. It was really, really shit situation. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to feel fun or happy through it. So I thought, I'm going to put my phone down, because if I project anything, I haven't consciously made the decision to make my brand fun or happy or whatever. But as much as I'm very well aware that I make my happiness and fun a choice, other people might not be at that place yet. So if they log on and look at my stories and I'm feeling shit and I'm projecting shit, then that means that I'm responsible for making someone else's day crap. And I never, ever, ever want to be responsible for that. So if I know that I'm not going to be able to come on in a positive way and that might affect someone else, I'll just put the phone down and just won't come on that day.
It's like when your mum used to say, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Have you heard that one? Yeah. Yeah. And it's true, isn't it? Because I think our energy does rub off on people, and it's one of those things. And you want your clients to have a positive feeling and have that associated with you when they see you, and that connection of where you make a client feel something. If they get that negative energy from you, it subconsciously it could affect them if that's the only reel that they've seen that day from you or whatever. So I think that is something to think about. But one of the things I think sometimes I might have been guilty of thinking before was that fun might come across as seeming unprofessional. And when you are all things to all people and you are the brand and the face of your business, and if you have too much fun, that might not seem like you're taking your work seriously. What are your thoughts on that?
There's a spectrum of fun. There's a fun dressing up like a clown with the red nose on. And there's a fun that's just smiling at other people and waiting for them to smile back. And again, you can decide what suits your brand. So I don't think silly fun is very professional unless that is a way that, that's what you do in your business and that's the way your brand is. So you have to think about what fun means for you and what fun would mean for your customers, and kind of run with that. So no, it doesn't have to be silly, unprofessional. It can just be laughing at yourself.
Yeah. And I think also because when we're self-employed, we are in charge of our own calendar and our own diary and stuff. So I think it's quite important that we actually punctuate our sort of busyness with sort of fun events and things that we can actually look forward to and that are uplifting, that we can also use as opportunities to share on our social media to show that playfulness and that fun side of ourselves. So what about treating yourself to something enjoyable, excuse me, and putting things on your Instagram feed for people to sort of show that side of your personality in your business, but also just rewarding yourself and for work, got milestones reached and good work that you've done, or having a particularly stressful week that you've navigated through. I think those sorts of things can also uplift us when we're in our own sort of space, because being on your own, working for yourself can be a lonely experience sometimes. So you have to actively go out of your way to put these things in your diary to create fun moments. Would that be something that you do in your business?
Oh, yeah. Otherwise you'll just burn out.
What sort of things do you put in, Inge?
Every morning I go to the coffee shop and I allow myself to browse TikTok and look at comedy stuff. So that's just something little every day. Or I have a happy folder on my phone of things that make me happy, like reels I've seen, videos I've seen. But also I will make sure that I put in time with friends that are nothing to do with business. And I'll put in time with business people who I know I want to hang out with, or, have fun with, or I might go to the spa, or I might go to London, or we might do like a Zoom session. Just, yeah, it's important. It's really important, actually. Otherwise you can get really, really caught up in whatever's going on in your own space.
One of the things that I find is when I've got to do sort of a mundane task, if it's like, oh gosh, I've just got to do this, because not everything in your business is fun machine and exciting. There are lots of mundane routine things that you have to do when you're self-employed. So one of the things that I try to do is, if it's a task that I'm not particularly looking forward to, perhaps some data entry or some tracking and recording things, I try to do it in quite a fun, nice place, in either a nice setting, or you could go to the park to do it, or you could sort of cozy up in your favorite cafe, get a nice hot chocolate, and sort of feel that you're indulging yourself a little bit and actually having a bit of a treat to do something to actually switch it up. And I remember Tony Robbins saying that he used to make his sales calls and he would do them from a jacuzzi. And I was thinking, oh my God, yeah, he would get himself all in the zone, and he would have his favorite music on, pumping up beforehand, and then he would get in this outdoor jacuzzi, which had this incredible view out over the mountains or something. And then he would start pressing the phone and ringing all of his clients and stuff. And he said, I was in such a great high energy place that was transmitted across when he was doing his sales calls. And he said, I was actually having a great time. I was talking to these people. I was talking about something that I loved. And I just thought, what a great idea to be doing something like that, and sort of setting up your environment for having that positivity and that fun aspect to it.
Oh, yeah. I take myself on data dates. So when I know I have to look at my data, I go to this nice hotel that's near me. I always buy myself some bubbles, maybe a little charcuterie, and then get into the data.
Data dates. I love that. So that's like looking at your sort of reports or your financial analysis, that sort of thing, and going through stuff which most people really shove to the back of the queue when they have to look at that stuff. But you actually make that time, you ring fence it, and you put a date in to actually make that a fun event. I love that. That's really good. One of the things I was thinking of when we were talking about this topic, it was about choosing how you set your environment up. So if you go to the same workplace and you've got a room or something that you work from, having really nice artwork or pictures in your room, or just sort of small knickknacks that just put a smile on your face, or your client might come in and just say, oh, I love that, whatever it is that you've put up. I think those sorts of things to actually give that welcoming, fun, warm vibration when people come in, and having that surrounding you in your workplace and stuff can be really uplifting for you each day. And instead of going into some bland office that we can all think of when we might have been employed ever, where, you know, it's just your desk, your computer, your chair, and it's not particularly stimulating. You've got really free range when you're self-employed to be able to choose all of those things that you surround yourself in. And you creating that environment for your clients and your customers to come into can also be really uplifting and be a topic of conversation. One of the other things I was thinking about is we recently had a mastermind day for our work, and we went to the Monopoly place, and that was really awesome. And that was such a fun day. We did that in the morning, and then we did like masterminding, sort of, we had somebody come in to talk to us, and hot seats, and then we finished that off with drinks. But that whole day was just so nice to look forward to, certainly for me. And I just think that those sorts of meetings when we are self-employed, to actually have milestones on the horizon, like networking events or those sorts of things.
I try to. I also put in networking things. I also put in things for my own clients. So I like to put on days for my own clients where, you know, twice a year, not all the time, but we'll go out and we'll have a day and spend time together and actually see faces. But also I've recently joined a few networking groups and a co-working space where they put on events as well. And I'll purposefully carve out time to go to them. They are business expenses because you need it to keep going.
Yes, you are networking, so you can put that through as an expense for your business. But it is a great idea to find a group of other business owners to hang out with. So it doesn't have to be a formal mastermind group or anything like that. Just having a coffee with someone else who really gets what you're doing can feel incredible. And just hanging out with someone who understands where you're coming from, that can be fun on its own if you've got quite a mundane week of appointment after appointment on that sort of thing. And also, I think just remember that you might not have a regular salary to rely on when you're self-employed, but you're actually blazing the trail for people, and you are doing your own thing. So you're pretty special, and you need to enjoy that feeling as well, and make a list of all the things that you are getting from that aren't necessarily monetary. And how does that make you feel? Is it accomplished, powerful? That's worth something to celebrate. Do you get more time with your family? I think that whole thing of being self-employed and having that flexibility to be able to just drop things at the drop of a hat if you're able to and you have to, because you're not feeling it. Could you reschedule your day because you're just not in that zone? Because you're not going to be productive if you're not feeling on your best A game. So it's important that you recognize that and work out what you need to inject into your day to make it feel more positive and more fun, because as we've said, fun doesn't need to be unprofessional.
No. And I have a pot where I write achievements down. So if I ever do anything and I'm happy with it, I'll just put it on a piece of paper, put it in the pot, and then at the end of the year, open up the pot and have a look.
I love that. So that's sort of really celebrating and sort of making sure that you've got that recorded. One of the other things that I was thinking about, this might be a bit bad to say this, but I think you can also choose who you work with for your clients. You don't want to have drains that drain the energy out of you. Even if they are paying you, they're just not worth it. And so you're not looking for every client to come in to be lifting you up, etc. But we will all be able to think of the clients that just like drain the life out of us, the dementors that we just don't want to, you see them on your list and you think, oh my God, on Thursday they're coming. And then it's Wednesday and it's like, oh my God, they're coming tomorrow. And you just think, oh, I've just got to get past 1 o'clock and then, I won't have to see them for another month. But if you have some of those clients, I think you need to be really mindful of what they actually take from you, because do you have sort of times when you might cull some of those
100%.
Clients, or how do you do that without offending anyone? Because
I mean, I think it comes from the marketing right at the beginning, before they even start
filtering,
who are you attracting? Really think about it. What is the message? Like I said, if you're always going online and you're always negative, you're going to attract negative people. But if you want to bring in people that are more fun to work with, then just be a little bit more fun online. Not silly, but just fun. But yeah, definitely. If I notice someone isn't a right fit, then I will not work with them. And suggest other people that might be good for them, but it takes a lot more energy to manage and think about and work with someone who's draining you than it does that someone that you, I hate to use the word, but vibe with.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's just that they just drain your day and yourself, and then it just takes away positive energy that you would have for other clients that you might want to see, and you just know who those people are. So I think you're right, having some really good filtering processes of who you're attracting in the first place. But if somebody does slip through that net and you've got them, or they're sort of starting to become a bit more low quality client than those that you'd like to have on your energy levels, then yeah, there are different ways that you can sort of stop that. I know that's an awkward subject. I think perhaps we should tackle that in another podcast, how to filter out your difficult clients. That would be a good one to do. Perfect. Is there anything else, Inge, that we haven't covered today that you can think of? Because there's been lots of sort of topics and stuff that we've covered to help you think about putting more conversational fun in your day.
I think you just have to bring it back to what you said at the beginning and think, what's the point? What's the point of having a business if you're not going to enjoy it? I mean, if you're not enjoying it right now, then thinking about ways, even journaling, writing down, wouldn't it be cool if, I got that from Alice Benham actually, wouldn't it be cool if wouldn't it be great if I could feel and then try and identify things that aren't making you feel like that and get rid of them.
And work out how you can put those things in. Lovely.
Yeah.
Inge, thank you. Thanks for sharing all that with us today. So if our listeners like to find out more about you and to connect, where's the best place for them to find you?
On Instagram.
Lovely. At Inge.Hunter, is it?
That's it. Yeah.
Perfect. Lovely. I'll put that into the show notes. So that's a wrap for this week's episode of Earn More, Stress Less. Thank you for listening. Be sure to check out the show notes and please hit subscribe so we can connect again next week. Have a wonderful week. Earn lots of lovely money with the least amount of stress. And don't forget to have more fun this week. Till next time, let's catch up soon. Thanks for listening to the Earn More, Stress Less podcast with me, Caro Sison. If you've enjoyed this week's episode, then do hit subscribe so we can catch up again soon. And please kindly leave a review if you've got a moment and share with anyone else that you think this podcast could help on their self-employed journey. If you're ready to make bigger breakthroughs in your business life and want to get way more organised and understand your finances the really simple way, then start your very own 14-day free trial today using the super powerful software tool Pocket PA that I made for my own son and daughter. Go to pocketpa.com/podcast and let's get you on the way to earning more money and stressing much less. Have a great week, whatever you're doing.